Let's just quickly take you through some of the details that we're getting in right now in terms of a quick recap while we try to reach out to Captain D.K. Sharma. He served with the Navy veterans. We'll try and connect with him. Let's get him on the phone line right now as he waits. We're trying to connect him to get his response on this entire matter. Because remember, along with the family members, several of their course mates have also been carrying out this silent battle. This battle to bring back those Navy officers and hoping that they would be in a position perhaps to come back to the country. Right now, there's one battle that has already been won, that is with regards to reducing the sentence. That would essentially mean that it would be life imprisonment. But having said that, important to wait for that statement to come in. Perhaps the Ministry of External Affairs would only come in and issue a statement after they get some sort of an understanding with regards to the judgment, is what we are being told. Let's just take you through some of the details that we're getting in right now with regards to what has happened so far and how exactly would this really pan out in the days to come. As we understand that once the court judgment comes in, the ambassador in Qatar would essentially analyze along with the legal team. Remember, there's a battery of lawyers, the legal team that has been consulted on this entire matter to try and get a better perspective. And remember, also there have been high-level talks that have taken place in the last couple of months. However, having said that, Indian government has been working on this, so much so an assurance was actually given by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, and he essentially indicated that the government would do everything at their disposal to ensure that justice is provided to the family members and the 8 Navy officers. Remember, it's been an arduous journey for the family members because they were never essentially told on what charges they were behind bars. So much so there was absolutely radio silence on the part of the Qatari authorities as far as this entire matter goes. When we actually reached out to one of the family members, they said that there was nothing that was told to them. In fact, they also reached out to the company with which they were associated. What was surprising and perhaps suspicious in this entire matter, that the top administration of this very company with which the 8 Navy officers were interacted, we are given to understand that they were not told what were these espionage charges they were being leveled at, and for exactly whom were they carrying out these espionage activities. As usual, what turned out thereafter was that it was only after the government actually intervened and the push that was given by the Ministry of External Affairs through multiple channels, it turned out that they had got some information with regards to the role of the company as well as the 8 Navy officers. Till date, there is absolutely no clarity as to what were the espionage charges leveled for, who were the people who were responsible, and whether at all Qatar had gathered any sort of evidence. And that remains the grey area as far as this story goes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to point out here 2 aspects. The fact that you have, more importantly, several other people who were carrying out this battle, of which you had the course mates, batchmates who have been fighting this battle, taking up this matter, because remember, the family members were completely dejected, keeping in mind there was very little information that was really coming in. We'll try and get you more details right now. Let's play out once again some details of the statement that was actually issued by the Ministry of External Affairs. We'll also try and get across to our reporters on the ground to get you the latest details, and we'll take you through what has happened, what has transpired so far. Now first, let's tell you what did the family members say. When it all started, the family members, when we first spoke to them, said that they were on an invitation that was given to them. They were on a training module and they were basically imparting the training to others. Now, this was not done once, ladies and gentlemen. On multiple occasions, these trainings were imparted by our veterans who have served across the country on various commands that they have been present in, and they're distinguished senior officers of the Indian Navy, some who were conferred with the President's Medal too. But despite that, Qatari authorities did not really respond. So much so, when we spoke to one coursemate just a short while back, there was palpable anger amongst them, because also they're saying that while a part of it has already been won, a larger battle still remains. Will our officers come back? And that's exactly the fight that still continues, is what we are being told as of now. Having said that, we'll have to wait for that judgment to really come in, and getting us the details of that judgment, we'll see if we can go across to my colleague Rakshita. And also, I would just say that we'll try and get Captain D.K. Sharma on the phone line. Let's try and get him on the phone line and get his first reaction. Well, let's just take you through all that we know so far. This afternoon is when the Ministry of External Affairs had also issued a statement, and there was also what we are given to understand that in that particular statement, all that was essentially mentioned, that there was a reduced statement, a reduced sentence, I beg your pardon, and the reduced sentence would essentially mean that from death sentence, inevitably this would be life imprisonment. But having said that, that's perhaps the caveat that has been attached to it, that they're waiting for the court judgment to essentially come in. And once the judgment comes in, the detailed judgment which would come in from the Court of Appeal in Qatar, they would be in a position to take it further as to what would be the next legal steps available before them. And that's going to be the important aspect to look into, is what we are given to understand. It's again, as we've been pointing out, that it has not been an easy task for the family members, because they've perhaps had to go through multiple channels. But the assurance that came in just about a couple of months ago has reflected in what has come out today in the Court of Appeals in Qatar. The very fact that this is being seen as a marked change, a marked shift from the position, the hard positioning that was actually done by the Qatari authorities. What has essentially happened right now is that after that hardball negotiation that has been done by the Indian government, they've been able to come to some sort of an understanding.